So we'll go to Cater in London. How are you?
Hello, how are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. The subject I would like to discuss, and first of all, sorry for my English, I am French, so I'll try to be as to the point as quick as possible and try to express myself clearly. Basically, I would like to talk about gay marriage and adoption of children by gay couples.
Have you emailed us, by the way?
Sorry?
Have you emailed us? We got an email about this topic from Europe recently.
No, not at all, no.
Never mind.
No. Basically, here in France and what I've noticed, generally speaking, in the Western countries, we are passing laws, especially in France, to have the gay community, gay people, to be able to get married, and also to eventually adopt children.
Yeah.
And very often we have two clearly distinct group of people who are either for the gay marriage or opposing it, which are often the atheists on one side, who are pro-gay marriage and pro-adoption, and on the other side, we have all the religious groups, the Christians, the Muslims, opposing it.
Yep.
What I'd like to discuss is basically, I am an atheist, but I have to say on this case, it's because I'm an atheist that I sort of oppose gay marriage and gay adoption. If you
Okay,
follow what
so
yes.
before we actually, let's take them individually. So you're an atheist,
Yes.
and you oppose gay marriage. Why?
Yes.
I want to ask,
Well, actually, go ahead.
just so we can make sure to skip to a particular point, are you against all marriage or just gay marriage?
No. Basically, what I'm opposed to is not so much that gay people can live together or even get married, but mostly what the consequences will be later on when it comes to adopting children.
Yeah, but are you against all marriage or just gay marriage?
I don't really see the point in marriage.
So why bother arguing against gay marriage specifically when what you're really probably aiming at is to get rid of all marriage altogether? Why don't you just propose that as legislation and not specifically propose something that would be discriminating?
All right, because that's, to me, it sounds like a first step in marriage, which will give rights like all other type of marriage, basically heterosexual marriage, for gay people who are married, getting the same right, and thus getting the right to adopt children.
Okay, hang on. Irrespective of adoption, you just said something that a minute ago you said you didn't have an objection to gay people getting married, but you oppose gay marriage.
Yes, when it comes to the right to adopt.
Okay.
Because it will give them eventually the right to adopt children.
No, well, those two things are equivalent. Allowing gays to marry is equivalent to gay marriage, and you're for one and against the other, and that's confusing.
Oh, okay. Maybe I'm not very clear on that.
Okay.
Basically, when you are married as a heterosexual couple, maybe it's not the same in the U.S., but you have the right to adopt children, right?
You know who else has the right to adopt children? I don't know. I don't know if this is the case in France, but single people can adopt children. Marriage is not a requirement.
Okay. All right. So let's move to then I might be wrong on that topic, but my concern is mostly on the adoption.
Okay. Why are you concerned about homosexuals adopting children?
Because as an atheist, I believe in the theory of evolution.
What does that have to do with it? It has absolutely nothing to do with it.
I'll try to explain myself. It's because
I'm sorry, is your concern that so many people are going to turn gay that there will be no children born because we have this huge underpopulation problem where we're going to run out of people? Is that what you're telling us?
No, that's not. What I mean is, my understanding for the theory of evolution is basically we have evolved as men and as women. Basically, nature creates men and women, right? And that's the basis of the couple. Who have children it has an impact of whether a child is basically raised by a mother and a father, rather than.
No, see, here's the thing. Here's the thing. Evolution doesn't tell us at all about how things are or should be, and to claim that it does is to commit something called the naturalistic fallacy. Additionally, we already know that children who are adopted and raised by gay couples turn out just fine.
And I think there's no evidence either that they're more likely to turn gay themselves. Not that it would matter if they did.
Well, his objection isn't that. It's about...
Okay.
Anyway.
Okay.
So
what you're telling me is that basically a child who is raised by a woman and a man would psychologically develop the same way as being raised by two women.
No two children develop exactly the same way psychologically. What difference does that make?
But the question is, why did nature create two sexes?
Okay, now here's part of the problem. Here's part of the problem.
This is where I get a bit...
Why did nature create great gay people?
So here's part of the problem. You just asked, why did nature do something? That implies some intent or planning, which is the core of the naturalistic fallacy. Nature didn't intend to do anything or do anything for some purpose. Nature is just what happened. Now, here's what we know. We know that children can be raised by an individual, by a pair of individuals who are heterosexual and of opposite gender identities, by a pair of individuals who are of the same gender identity, by groups of people, by families. All of them will develop slightly differently because every child is different. But we can look into this and investigate, are there family structures that are harmful to the development of children? And what we find is that homosexual couples do not qualify in the harmful to children category. And in fact, in some of the studies, in some of the cases, those children have turned out better adjusted, performed better education-wise. And there are plenty of heterosexual families that have their own kids and or adopt kids who raise those kids in absolutely terrible, vile conditions that result in the trauma to the psychological disposition of the kid, as well as physical issues, as well as educational issues. And I think that it would be more productive for all of us to focus on, let's address actual problems in child rearing, that we have some responsibility to do so within whatever those limits are, and not run around making naturalistic fallacies saying, well, I don't really have any data, but I suspect that kids raised by homosexuals are going to be not as well adjusted as kids raised with a mother and a father.
I didn't say that.
That's what you were implying.
Was I? What I was trying to say is that, isn't it a bit, aren't we a bit rushing without enough, basically...
No. The studies have been done already. People have already been concerned, like you, that there's a problem with gay people raising children, and they did the studies, and they found out there was not.
But none of that matters. This question, aren't we rushing? Aren't we rushing? First of all, no, we're not rushing. Second of all, you do not wait until you have an evidence that something is okay to do before you permit it. Instead, you permit things until you have good reason to think that you should not permit them.
Right, because all other things being
equal. We have been wrongly denying people equal rights based on naturalistic fallacies and all sorts of assumptions and fear that something may go wrong, and that is what is wrong. Not allowing people to have those rights is what is wrong. Instead, you allow people to have rights until you have good reason to take them away.
50 years ago, judges were arguing that it's unnatural and not okay for black and white people to get married to each other. And they made all kinds of arguments, which are the same kinds of things that are being made now. And we look back at that now and think those people were obstructionist jerks who were deliberately roadblocking people's civil rights to do the stuff they want to do. And the other thing, is not rushing into anything.
The other thing on this is kind of cherry-picking bits of information and viewing it out of context. So let me look at it this way. A mixed-race couple, and we'll go for the most obvious ones, someone of African descent and someone of Caucasian descent, they marry, and they have kids, whether they adopt those kids or have them naturally, there are people who will say, look, those kids are being brought up in an environment that is counterproductive to them because at a minimum, they're going to suffer potential teasing and ostracizing from the community because they have a mixed race parent, a set of parents. And you know what? Those people are right. That's a real potential danger. That is a real potential risk to the kids, that they're going to be teased and ostracized by other people because their parents are of mixed race. But the solution is not to deny mixed race couples the right to have kids. The solution is to fix society so that bigots aren't picking on kids because their parents don't match the naturalistic design that people think exists.
Mm-hmm. I don't know if it's the right example to compare the race to...
no, it's exactly the right example because they were using exactly the same arguments back then.
All right, okay. So just to leave you there, just to basically conclude. So what you're saying is basically that it doesn't matter if a child is raised by a woman, by two women or two men. It doesn't really matter at all because basically this idea of having a father figure and a mother does not have any consequences on the child.
If we believed that, then we would forcibly take kids away from single-parent families on the grounds that one parent at a time is not fit to raise the kid. And we don't do that.
All right. And there is... Okay. All right. Well, thank you very much for your patience.
Sure. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye.